Let's get those weekly apology forms out. I was right, as usual, again. Just a couple days ago, I was talking about Canada in relation to the China threat war and the Monroe Doctrine, and lo and behold, what happened last night? Mark Carney meets with China, says they're going to build a new world order, literally said that, strengthening their ties with China, and they're going to be importing tens of thousands of these BYD electric vehicles. And what this is the British Empire trying to further weaken us militarily. We know that in the United States, the British Empire is in mainly the New England, obviously, if it's not obvious by the name. California and the Western coast have already sent our means of production to weaken us militarily to China, and especially with all that software, all has backdoors for China in it because they hired bricks workers, and now they're even sending those companies to India. They're trying to take out our auto industry because during times of war, those car manufacturers can be transferred and switched over to make parts for missiles and everything. And let's review their case file a little bit. First, Canada is a British Commonwealth. And when Trump first took office and made some light threats, King Charles literally came to Canada and announced what their new national policies were going to be. I watched the whole speech and I couldn't believe it. It was like, okay, you're just a client state of the British Empire here. And Mark Carney in 2013 was literally the head of the Bank of England. He's a puppet president. We should know a little bit about something like that because we know Bush Jr. and Sr. were related to the royal family. You look up which presidents were best for the British Commonwealth. It was them plus Obama, who is related to the Bush family and also related to the royal family. 24 years of puppet presidents in this country. 24 years of war in the Middle East, and at the end, who did the contracts go to? British Petroleum. They're exporting to India and China. They're best friends. We talk about the China threat. We literally fought a war to make them stronger in Iraq. And in my opinion, Osama bin Laden wasn't the mastermind of 9/11. It was George Bush Sr., maybe even goes up to the King of England. And remember the history between Britain and China in the first place. China used to be called the unofficial empire. There's a long history there. And when we talk about today, Britain is driven by some sort of feeling of remorse or, empathy. Because they know damn well they financed that Mao revolution that unalived so many that they're driven by that today. So, no, it's not just China taking over Canada. It's the British Empire. Let's get real. And the way for Trump to deal with this is obvious. Maduro, Mark Carney at 2 a.m. Proceed with taking Greenland. What this is showing us is that some of these people weren't even our friends in the first place. We just want to manufacture stuff in the United States, and they're acting like we bombed their country or something. Or you look at Greenland, they're not doing anything with it. There's 50,000 people there. It's a big chunk of ice. And after all that we did for Europe, fighting for supplying Ukraine with $300 billion and all these weapons, fighting in World War I and World War II, which didn't even really concern the United States, you want to act that way over a sheet of ice that you weren't our friends to begin with. And if they really want to keep messing around, we could just reverse our position between Ukraine and Russia and see how they like that. What are the Ukrainians even fighting for? To be a part of the West and lose all their freedoms and have infinity Hindu Muslim Indians invade their country and take every job? So Trump, stay the course. The patriots are with you. We're not falling for the British Empire fake news of BBC and the New York Times that are chock full of BSC and MI6 foreign spy terrorists.